Oh yeah. Oh yeah, man. What's up? How is your life? How is your world? We hope well. You know what I'm saying? A lot of trials and tribulations in the first Black Champ family, but we are persevering. We are pressing on. We are believing in God and believing in the best possible scenarios
Mhm.
in all aspects. And since we do that, because as the great Dick Gregory once said, fear and God can't occupy the same space. Rest in peace to him.
All right.
It is time for us to talk about wrestling like nobody else in the world any daggone way. All right. So, without further ado, man, we're just going to get into it. This is time for the first Black Champ podcast. And I am still your podcast intercontinental champion and possibly your daddy, Cam from the Port.
Hey man, I don't want to be nobody else's daddy. I'm J.R. Bang though.
That's true. You know what I'm saying?
Don't need no more. Don't
I'm,
need no
I'm, I'm
more.
working on the strategy for like maybe two more, maybe three.
Yes.
But
Yes.
you
Can't
know,
be skeeting this time. That's what I'm talking.
hey, listen, you know,
Work on the strategy though. You are exact. Hey, work on the strategy.
always
That's
got to strategize.
that's the very important part that I heard here. Working on a strategy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I tried the kamikaze mission.
Yeah.
It didn't really work in my favor.
Yeah.
However, however, I love my daughter to death, but we're going to be more strategic the second and third
Right.
times around,
There
unless I
we
get them
go.
done at the same time. You know,
So being that y'all know where we at in life, make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download to the Barbershop Digital,
yeah,
home of First Black Champ. Make sure you go ahead and get that merch. We ain't got on the FBC merch because I wore mine this week. But acknowledge your daddy, all right?
You know what I'm
Acknowledge
saying?
your daddy right there because we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Pops, and his family and how that is going. But just a quick update, as Camp from the Porters told y'all, and I know some of y'all who listen to First Black Champ listens to some dude. So yes, there was an incident in the family where my nephew was got a hold of an unsecured gun, where he was fighting for his life. But I am happy to say, because it wasn't available for us on some dudes. So here's the first Black Champ update.
Hey,
Doctors expect my nephew Elijah to survive.
awesome.
So yes, they expect him to survive. He still got a lot of fighting to do. He still got a lot of things that he would have to work through, but doctors expect him to survive. So thank everybody for your prayers. The family, especially my little brother, definitely needed them for the past almost 2 weeks. But as Dick Gregory and Kevin Laporte said, God and fear can't exist in the same place, and it didn't. We were all praying. Don't be afraid. Say this again. Don't be afraid and don't be too cool to ask for a prayer. All right.
Right.
Don't be too cool for that, man. There's a lot of stuff that be going on. Mental health spaces be messed up and everything.
Yeah.
But at the same time, do not be too cool to ask for prayer because we didn't. We got them. And definitely those prayers helped us get to where we at right now. And it's going to get to where we need it to be. So shouts out to my little brother. Shouts out to Elijah. Shouts out to all of us, our family, for coming together. And shouts out to you all for all of y'all prayers. We definitely appreciate it. But now we got to talk about this wrestling shit.
Yeah. Ross, Trey, what up? Let's get
What's
to
good?
it.
Man, oh man. A lot of stuff happened
man.
at Extreme Rules. Whole lot.
I was trying to catch the updates in between edibles and travel. You know what I'm saying? I had my Indiana quotes vibe in full splendor last night, so I wasn't doing too much of our jobs here. But I did see a couple updates that I felt like I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I was hosting the show last night. And I was like, nah, I can't. I can't be. It was at a movie theater too. It was a movie premiere.
Oh, nice.
So I couldn't be at the movie premiere watching Extreme Rules. That'd have been Extreme
Rules. They were like, "Yo, fam, like you already seen it before everybody else, and you got the fucking shit out."
No, we need you. We need you active here. So I watched it this morning. I saw the updates because the alerts coming to the phone thanks to Bleacher Report. And some of those I expected. I think we expected. Shouts, I think it was Romello. Somebody sent the tweet to us. I can't remember. It might have been Romello. I can't remember who. My bad. But a bang be knowing moment happened. Because with Liv Morgan, I told y'all she's gonna lose and she's gonna go crazy.
Yeah. That was your prediction.
There you go. The other prediction, which I know it wasn't gonna happen, but we need to break up the monotony of everybody knew it was Bray Wyatt. It wasn't Elias, it was Bray Wyatt. We're gonna talk about the ending of Extreme Rules and how this may have been one of the greatest returns in wrestling history, how it played out. And this is not a hot take. I was looking last night to this morning like, yo, who returned was better even when you knew they was returning?
Hey, yes, that's key. That's key.
Knew they was returning. But before we get started, would like to say happy birthday to Eddie Guerrero. Today would have been, I believe, his 55th birthday.
Wow.
So acknowledge your daddy. I'm your poppy. Rest in peace, Eddie Guerrero. You saw your son/nephew beat up his daddy last night. So
I'm trying to be like you.
Right, trying to be like you and everything. So happy birthday to Eddie Guerrero. Excuse me, as well. But Extreme Rules recap. Let's start with Liv going crazy. That's the baby knowing moment. I definitely was thinking what happened was going to happen, where she was going to go nuts. She smiled while being locked into a new and weird submission move. And then she passed out. She didn't tap. She passed out. But then the video that we were tagged into, we was tagged into, she was just in the corner looking weird and crazy. Where does Liv Morgan go from here without a title and knowing that sooner rather than later Charlotte Flair is coming back? We don't know if it's going to be against Bianca or Ronda, but it's hovering over everybody. Where does Liv go from here?
Man, being that the Women's SmackDown roster looks the way it looks, Liv doesn't have to go into obscurity after this, but she do got to present herself as a much stronger character if she's going to survive. You know what I mean? Like, because now seemingly they've teamed up Shotzi and Raquel. So now Raquel ain't in her way no more. So with that being said, she can still be in that 3 to 4 title match rotation deal, because despite the reports so far, Naomi Sasha not back. Aaliyah, whether injured or not, she should still be above her. She already beat Lacey Evans. So literally, that's leaving Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, and Charlotte Flair whenever she decides to come back, since you've teamed up Raquel and Shotzi. So that puts her in the top 4 to 5. She just got to maintain position. And I think now is the perfect time for her to do that with a character, even though I do have a theory that's part of my guarantee. Because somebody reemerging might be in her way, and that could get interesting.
At this point, I'm calling Sasha and Naomi Trinity and Mercedes.
Yeah, true. Yeah, until they sign back up, that's Trinity and Mercedes.
Yeah, once Sasha changed their social to dub Mercedes Bernardo, I was like, all right, we whatever. All right, you know what I'm saying? Like that right there is a sailed ship. Yeah. Until we see something differently, that is a sailed ship. I think this puts her back. I think this character change is what I was looking for from her.
Yeah.
I think, look, when she won the title, all of that I'm so happy to be here shit had to change.
Yeah, for sure.
Like all this crying and The only teardrop she needs at this point now is if she kills somebody.
The tattoo tears.
That's it. That's all. Not these tears of I've been here, but I haven't made it here yet, and I'm just striving. That's why I like the look, the start of the character change with this Ronda shit, because she was talking her shit and she was talking it aggressively. Now, where we at is she loses the belt. She's crazy now because she's worked so hard to get this belt. She's similar to Christian when he lost the belt and kept telling Randy Orton, hey man, I just need one more match. But she's more like Chris Jericho when Chris Jericho started to go nuts. And other people like that. I'm not a transitional champion. It's going to be a little bit of both there. So I think this character change is going to help us get to a new level of sorts for her, which is going to do nothing but elevate her. And I want to see this mean streak. I want to see her angry. I want to see her pissed, mad, and upset because she didn't get the shit that she thought she was supposed to get. We need all of that. Raquel Gonzalez said some shit that was interesting because I said it here on First Black Champ too, that they need a secondary title in the women's division. Maybe a women's intercontinental champion, but they need something else. And I think the reason why the women's division, when you lose, you're the division that you go to the back unless you're a 4-horsewoman. Is because there's not a secondary championship. Like the AEW, to me, AEW got one thing right. Is having a secondary title. And at this point right now, what's wild is the secondary title is similar to ECW and when Rob Van Dam had the TV championship. You, in some cases, you did not give a damn who was the ECW world champion because to you, Rob Van Dam was the champion. He was the A-champ, as Carmelo Hayes would say. He was the A-champ in ECW. When you look at AEW, Jade Cargill is the A-champ. You know what I'm saying? And having a belt around her makes her the A-champ, of course. But it gives other people to try to strive to get in the limelight. You know what I'm saying? While you look at the women's championship, it's in a flux because there's, Thunder Rosa, who is the champ, but she's out hurt. Tony Storm is the interim champ. Don't nobody really give a shit that she's the interim champ. But you got Jade Cargill that's out here holding it down. And that's what the WWE needs. They need a secondary championship for these women. So when you lose, you don't go to the back. And then you have a clear upper card, a clear mid card, a clear lower card. And that would help because then now we'll have a clear line to say that Liv is going to stay up there on SmackDown at least.
I got you. Okay.
But I think that is going to happen by default because Mercedes and Trinity are not here. And the talent, most of the talent is over there on Raw. Like you got y'all all know how much I love Shotzi Blackheart. So I love her. She's teaming up with Raquel right now. But who did they wrestle? They wrestled Sonya Deville and Zia Lee, who they kind of played like jobbers, so to speak. The second best champion, the third best champion is better than everybody on the SmackDown roster, not named Ronda Rousey and Liv Morgan, and that's Mandy Rose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Like, so you got that as well. Like, man, at this point right now, Mandy Rose is the clear challenger to Ronda Rousey, and how much she's improved, it's going to be a great match.
For sure.
So she ain't going nowhere.
Man. I think all the secondary title talk is definitely great, and I think it would kind of like explain the tiers because there was such a time with just those major titles. It didn't feel like there was a middle ground. It was just like, hey, that was kind of the Achilles heel to Liv Morgan, right? All of a sudden, she was getting a title shot, and we was like, yo, she gonna get her ass whopped because she never really won shit before before that time it happened. And then we're now in this semi-unbelievable title run for this with the SmackDown Women's title, depending on how savvy with wrestling you are. And then if you just don't like her, then that makes it even worse because now you're not even tuned in. And now her winning matches looks crazy. I mean, shoot, we were in the 100 section when some of those reactions from those women when she walked away with the title at SummerSlam. So I'm saying all that to say, yeah, the secondary title would really work well for the WWE because the flip side, AEW, Jay Cargill bringing on the black superstars that they audience don't even care about, but at least that's like a rising star face while their main title guys bring in the money, so to speak. You know, your main titles should be the ticket draw, and your secondary title should be the people that just give you a really good show. And I think the WWE obviously has the roster to do that. It's just making it make sense while you still keep underserving the women's tag team titles. That's the issue now.
Yeah, man, you have very dominant champions. That's why Raquel Gonzalez and Aaliyah, I wasn't even mad at having a championship because they needed more than Io and Dakota Kai.
Yeah, for sure.
They needed much more than those two. Honestly, Io and Dakota Kai don't need shit.
Yeah. Off of NXT resume alone, they just don't need anything.
They don't need anything at all, fam.
Because shoot, we spend about 18 months for each of them thinking like, oh shoot, when is Io gonna show up on Raw or SmackDown? When is Dakota Kai gonna show up on Raw or SmackDown? And then they return with Bayley. So it's like, and she don't need no help either. It's like the three of the most over women to probably never main event a pay-per-view period. Well, on the main rosters, that is. Like, yeah, they don't need any help. They're doing exactly what we thought they would do, just not in the manner we thought they would do it once they arrived.
Exactly. So, moving on to the match of the night.
Okay.
Which, look, we now reach the point where anytime any of these guys wrestle or fight, it's gonna smack, and you just got to leave it at that. Imperium versus Brawling Brutes, in the Donnybrook match.
Donnybrook fella.
I affectionately call this match beat the shit out of Gunther because the double and triple teams on Buddy was so funny. It was literally like, yo, we got to get him down because if we don't get him down, he gonna continue to whoop our ass. Like, I've never seen somebody look so strong and getting their ass beat the way Gunther looked last night / this morning.
Oh wow! Okay.
Because you could tell it was, we gotta fuck him up, y'all. Like, get him down. Get him down. And shouts out to Trey. He just said it. Like, this was definitely DX versus the Nation, but more ass whooping. Like, and the ass whooping was, man, it was violent. And I love violence.
Yeah, man. Shout to violence.
In this situation. Now, in a match again, look, the fact of the matter is they had matches that smacked 2 nights in a row.
Yeah, because it's the SmackDown shit.
And the SmackDown shit was this close to being better than the last pay-per-view match between Gunther and Sheamus. It was this close.
Okay. All right.
This close. This shit's like how Mike tweeted me, text us this morning.
Yeah.
When I said that Freddie Gibbs got Album of the Year, and I was like, push a close second.
Yeah.
That was that. It's like close second. I want to see them. Look, when y'all be getting tired of people having matches against each other, yo, kiss my ass. Them people can wrestle every week and twice on Sunday, fam. Like, I would go in the WWE 2K22 and put them as my main event in every goddamn Raw TV show taping that I do on that shit. Them two can wrestle until one of them dies, all right? They could be 85 years old. both of them, and they can wrestle. Like this shit can be like classy Freddie Blassie versus another old nigga, and I'll watch them. And as Trey just said, for once, Cam, you can't be racist toward European ones because they fighting how you want to fight.
Right. Hey, but see, Trey, I think 75% of your statement is accurate. All right. Like, I am not racist, buddy. Like, don't let Bang influence you the wrong way here.
Well,
because y'all know. See, now look, with this brand of Euro wrestling, don't the rest of them look like sissies for real now? Like, that's my point.
Hey, man, Gallus did whoop the shit out of folks on the NXT like I think it was last week or the week before last. So
yeah, hey, look, they building harder Euros in this era. We don't come from this. Hey, but they all about our age though. See, so they was like, "Yo, man, this pussy shit over here. We gotta do some extra, like some real stuff. Like I'm not curtsying with ruffles and the flag that Betsy Ross, you know what I'm saying? Mate, we're not doing none of that. I'm not coming out here like the Boston Tea Party. I'm about to whoop somebody's ass.
Well, Camp, later on in the show, I'm going to explain what I learned in a conversation that I might be a little racist.
Hey, I can't wait for this. I can't wait for this.
I might admit my racism.
You know what I'm saying? This might be subtle projection, and we might be getting to the bottom of this. I'm here for it.
It may be. Well, I might agree with you. I'm just out with my shit. Remember when strap matches used to be scary, Ken?
Man, heck yeah, man. Strap matches, because I mean, the first time I seen them, I was actually getting whoopings. My mom had a brown belt, so and, like I don't know if any of y'all have been ever been whooped with that belt. It kind of looked like the weight belt, the brown leather one, but it's just thick as hell, but it don't have like the back piece to it. Yeah, I gotta swipe one of those. So the first time I seen a strap match, it was terrifying to me, and that's when I started grabbing belts and running. So yeah, strap matches, they don't hit the same, all puns intended, as they used to when I was coming up as a child.
How can I put this? Might have been the worst strap match in the history of strap matches.
Hey, you know,
happened last night.
If we had done a show last week, I was prepared to come on the show and say, when the first sanctioned match is a specialty match, it's gonna be garbage. It's gonna be garbage.
I just realized that was
because you know what I'm saying? Like all we have is a series of attacks and vignettes and promos. That was it. So even though it's Extreme Rules, and I totally get the concept of Extreme Rules, even when you say the name Extreme Views premium live event, because we don't necessarily say pay-per-view anymore, the last thing you think is going to happen during an Extreme Rules pay-per-view is a strap match. To me, this was set up to fail from the beginning. When I hear Extreme Rules, I hear hardcore match, false count anywhere, TLC, possibly just a table match, possibly even the Hell in a Cell. You know what I'm saying? Or something to that degree. When we start drifting back into 88 to 92 and we're doing strap matches for two people like Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross, who I don't believe they need this kind of specialty match, it's just a recipe for disaster. I was prepared to come and say that, but life started lifing in the real way. So I'm not surprised that you think that match was garbage, even though I didn't see it at all. I had no anticipation of seeing it when I seen a man come out with a sword that's about 5'7", put it down to pick up a strap, and not the strap that get niggas off the block, the strap that Dusty Rhodes would have hit Stan Hansen with, and somewhere in like Corpus Christi or Amarillo, Texas. Just wasn't going to work for me.
I used to love strap matches. Like, Vader versus Sting scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, man. That's the bar too, by the way.
Yeah,
that's
like
the bar.
Lex Luger versus Stan Hansen is another one that comes to mind. I wasn't necessarily the biggest fan of it, but Hogan versus Vader too, because Vader strap matches is the reason why I'm scared of Vader. Let me put it like that. But also, it's the reason why you have a strap match, because you got to hit all four corners.
Yeah.
So that's the dramaticism about it, because I got to hit all four corners and everything too.
Yeah.
That didn't do none of that shit to me. It didn't do none of that shit for me. And the way that the finish happened, where Scarlett sprays him with mace and then carrying elbows him in the head, his finishing move. It's like, oh, what's the fucking point of the straps?
Yeah, right. I see. It just should have been false count anyway.
Right.
for an ending like that you're describing, yeah, false count anywhere would have made much more sense. But I mean, hey, I guess they needed something for them to do, but I guess maybe, okay, circle back here. Is this rivalry, feud, situation, is this over with us?
No. See, the thing is because with those two and the style that they have, I don't mind them two wrestling.
Okay.
I'm with it. I just think that you can't have a match like those two had, at the size that those two men are, at the capability that they can give you that type of match. You can't have that match at the same night as Gunther and Sheamus.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. But that match wouldn't have been straight without Gunther and them on the card. But you just can't have two big ass dudes and not have a physical match like the other two, because they're gonna make your match look like shit.
Yeah, and also to your point that you don't even know that you're making probably right now, you also can't have that happen when the two dudes in the lesser match are supposed to be the guys competing for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship.
All of that was in there too, because that's the lower card match.
Yeah,
that's hitting, and y'all got on straps.
Yeah.
Like, look, I'll say this right now. Like, from time to time, we'll tell y'all to look up matches on the WWE Network or on YouTube. Just go look at strap matches.
Yeah.
And just go to the 80s and the 90s. Fam, Vader had us legit scared.
Yeah. No
because
joke.
Like, you put a strap. I gotta fight him and not be 5 feet away from, like, more than feet away from him. No.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, the reason why that Sting Vader strap match is the bar for me, because I want to say I damn near cried because I really love Sting, and he was getting beat to death. Listen, I don't know if y'all ever seen Glory and the scene where, Denzel Washington getting whooped. But I saw that, and then I seen the fucking match with Vader and Sting, and I was like, oh, this is way worse. And he might. Like, he might. But that was, man, so that's why that one is the bar for me. I know they didn't invent the strap match, but I'll tell you what, Vader strap matches, it's so different that I was like, is this guy a wrestler? At some point in time, I was like, yo, I think Vader really want to hurt everybody. Like, this ain't good.
Yeah. So look, and I'm starting to realize, even though it's always been in my head, it's official now. I'm starting to realize that Triple H has always and forever been more of a WCW in the 80s and 90s fan more than anything in his life.
Oh yeah.
Because the power plant is the performance center. He wanted to bring all of the WWE shits over there. The names, like we getting the Halloween Havoc. We brought we getting all them shits. We getting War Games and for Survivor Series, and it's not gonna be campy. It's gonna be like storyline driven, like in WCW.
Yeah, man.
As long as you don't call nobody dudes with attitudes, we good.
Right, Triple H is definitely trying to put a budget behind all the great ideas WCW had.
Triple H is out here trying to restore the feeling of WCW on the low. I mess with you, Triple H. I see where you're going.
Yeah, man.
With that being said, part of that feeling is if we gonna have a strap match, tell Drew McIntyre and Karrion Kross to go watch Vader versus Sting or Lex Luger versus Stan Hansen. Because that strap match with Stan Hansen and Lex Luger, that's the first time I really see Stan Hansen.
Yeah.
I'm scared of Stan Hansen because of that match. And I believe Lex Luger won the match because he was hitting the ring
as he was getting his ass beat.
And Stan Hansen was hitting the ring. And it so happened that he didn't hit the last one, and Lex Luger hit it. And they're like, oh, Lex Luger wins. Lex Luger wins. And you was afraid of Lex. You was afraid that Lex Luger was about to get his ass whooped because he just finessed the shit out of Stan Hansen.
Little lariat.
Yeah, so and Seth Architect, we gonna get into the Bray Wyatt thing a little bit later in the show. We didn't get it, but I have thoughts on what you just said. Right there. So we're getting that in a little bit later. But strap matches are supposed to be scary. Yeah. That wasn't scary. That shit looked like a regular ass Raw match. And you can't have a match like that the same night Imperium and Brawling Brutes are beating the shit out of each other.
Yeah.
Moving on, I got a theory, and it continues with what I've said, that in the next 5 years, Bianca Belair will not be in the WWE. I believe that Bianca Belair is getting all of her iconic matches out of the way so she can move on peacefully, because she did it again last night with her and Bayley. What I did not realize, Kemp, is that was the first ladder match with women.
Yeah. So
in the WWE ring?
Yeah. Corey Graves detailed it correctly on Raw. And I didn't realize that because, they throw Money in the Bank matches out there all the time with the women now. But as I thought about it, it's like, nah. Remember Lita and Trish's thing where they main evented Raw? Like, that was their big thing. And that was just a regular ass match. Same thing. Because, then we spent about a decade from the women's matches might be getting cut from WrestleMania. So they never did that. And you just don't cut a ladder match. So, yeah, man. So for Bayley and Bianca Belair to have the first women's ladder match in 2022, it's like, wow. Yeah, I guess they did think Hell in a Cell was just the thing to do so many times for all the women before then. Like, it's been women with ladders, obviously. But, yeah, there's never been a women's ladder match. Like, even the one that was on SmackDown, they ran back the Money in the Bank match that Carmella won twice. That was the other match. So technically they had 2 Money in the Bank matches in 1 year, but never a solo or a tag ladder match for the women.
So that's why I didn't feel overall, hey, yeah, because we've seen women with ladders.
Yes. Yep. See, and the thing is, I don't know why they didn't do it this way, but they were supposed to usher that in with the women like they did for the WWE now, because we know history. The first ladder match was not in the WWF at the time. It was just Shawn and Razor Ramon ushered it in like, oh shit, this is a ladder match.
Right.
This is how we gonna do it. And it evolved to more people being into it. They dropped them right off at Money in the Bank, and now we're doing a solo match, and we're like, oh, so what? Oh, but this is for the title, not a title shot. It's 2 women, not 5 or 6. But yeah, you're right. We feel like we've already seen both of these ladies in ladder matches before. So did we really get something brand new? I understand. I understand.
With that being said, hey, Bianca and Bayley killed it.
Nice.
Hey man, she getting all her iconic matches out the way.
Nice.
That timeline might be even sooner too. Because if she get what I expect to happen at WrestleMania this year, at WrestleMania 40? If we get what I expect at WrestleMania 40, which is Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair for the Raw Women's Championship, night 1 as the main event.
Yeah, definitely.
When she loses, because she gonna lose that match, y'all.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair gonna lose. It's time. She's won twice in a row at WrestleMania. She gonna lose against Charlotte Flair. She gonna get the rematch.
Mm-hmm.
But she gonna. I'm officially saying she losing that bet at WrestleMania to Charlotte Flair.
Okay.
And when she does that, she gonna take a break. She gonna film some shit.
Mm-hmm.
She gonna model some shit. And we gonna see her at SummerSlam, ladies and gentlemen.
And what's cool about everything that you're saying is that when she leave, she'll be as a 3-time WrestleMania headliner, a 2-time champ of both belts, and she got one of the longest runs. Yeah. So, we're out of that era now, and I'm glad. I'm personally happy about this. We out of that era where like, yo, I'm the 7-time champ. Bitch, respect me. It's like, no, you know what? When I was here, couldn't nobody beat me. And then I lost, I left. I made a lot of more money, and now I'm back. We're going to do this one more time. So I like that.
Yeah, I think, ladies and gentlemen, I think the countdown is on. We're not going to see Bianca Belair a lot after WrestleMania 40. And being that she signed to a major agency right now, I think we are closer to my prediction where she's going to be the biggest action star in the world, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. She's getting all her iconic matches out the way.
Question for you, and I think we talked about this, so we can go ahead and fast forward if we did. What if they do the remake to Roadhouse with Bianca Belair and not Homegirl?
Well, they're not actually. They're doing a whole new Roadhouse, and Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be dude.
Okay.
Y'all won't do that shit.
Wait. Oh, they're not going to do it with women?
Nah, Jake Gyllenhaal is going to be Dalton.
Man, he ain't fight. Man, whatever, man. All right. I'm going to walk up to his bar right now.
Fuck Dalton Dad. You know,
right.
I just cussed my father-in-law downstairs. He probably like, what shit I doing? Anywho, let's move on.
Yeah,
But nah, yeah, that's how it's gonna go. Hey, Finn Balor with the nasty mask on last night. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. When I see the mask that Finn Balor had on last night, the first thing I think is BDSM and sex. All right, somebody is about to have some nasty. Followed by some type of sex, man. Anytime I see the mask that Finn Balor had on, I'm sorry. I just think somebody is extremely nasty. And they're about to do some nasty BDSM type stuff to some woman. Like if y'all seen the little castle, the Kink Nation or something like that.
Oh yeah,
when they showed
damn, what is that shit called?
I can't remember the name, but when they showed
chains on the walls and shit though.
Right, like so they show the castle. They show the castle, and then they show some woman tied up, butt naked. That's the mask that Finn Balor had on with brand new music. So I'm seeing on the interwebs that Finn Balor is supposed to get a nice push. Like they had some big things prepared for him.
Mm.
Big things planned for him. With that mask, he had big things planned that night. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like check porn. Like, you know, like y'all ever see, matter of fact, quick sidebar, y'all ever seen them pornos? Of like that's like they say it's in Czechoslovakia, and it's just got women like on like they either chained up, they butt ass naked, they chained up, or they just got their legs, just their bottom portion that is just pussy and legs just out. And dudes just walk down there, pull out meat.
Yeah.
And then they just keep going, and then they just pick another vagina and just start beating it, or just like start fucking mouths or anything. It's crazy.
Yes.
So if that's what Finn Balor is going to get into, is that the spirit that the supernatural thing that they wanted Edge to do?
Man,
like Edge is supposed to be the sex god, like
both of them married, like both Finn and Edge married. It's just we might know what goes on more in Finn's house than we do in Edge's house.
Yeah, man.
They might like your normal missionary and doggy style. Finn might have the whole room.
Yeah, he's carrying that purple, that silk like just material in his back pocket. I'm like, yo, he be using that to
he tying up arms. And shit. Yeah, he's tying up the mask that he had on. I'm sorry, the mask that he had on is kink.com. All right. As soon as you see that castle, you know it's lit. Somebody is tied up like this, and so yeah. That being said, he defeated Edge in an I Quit match because they was about to beat up Beth Phoenix, and then he said, "All right, I quit." And then they concertoed Beth Phoenix. So she got an ass whoop anyway. Yeah. Dom beat up. See, Dom, Finn Balor with that mask on. Oh, we getting it. We getting it all.
Rhea Ripley turning out young boys.
Yes.
Come to find out Finn is the top Dom. That'd be great.
Man, look.
The Dom and the sub, man.
Look. That's it. They're not Judgment Day. They're kink. All right. That's it. Like KYNK. Let's just do it like that. Yeah.
Cut one of those like the central like judgment.com. And then like it's just bad all of a sudden. Just mad anal trailers. Like what? Like yo. Son. Oh, it's judgment.com. You know, wow.
Yeah, wow. Okay, all right. It's official, ladies and gentlemen. Judgment Day is a kink group.
Yeah,
and that's what it is. And Dom beat up his daddy last night, so that's the end of that. So we can expect to see Daddy and his son fight sooner rather than later. All right, not at WrestleMania like we thought it was gonna happen, but they're gonna fight sooner rather than later because Dom beat up his daddy last night. It's really all we cared about with that match. And then of course we had Seth Rollins versus Riddle in the Fight Pit match with Daniel Cormier as the special guest referee. I watched that match and I said to myself, not that the match was bad, because to me the match was not bad. It had some good spots too.
Okay.
Brawling Brutes and Imperium should have been the main event. It should have been the main event, ladies and gentlemen. Because especially with what happens at the end of the night, right? See, the main event turned out to not be Seth Rollins versus Riddle. The main event just so happened to be Bray Wyatt making his re-entry into the WWE as Riddle goes out and everything, and he raises his hand in victory, and he goes into the curtain, so to speak. All the lights went off. The pop just with the lights going out. Let me say this. You know people are excited when the lights go out. And you scream like Stone Cold Steve Austin just walked out. Like the lights went out and everybody was like, it was like I was at I watched live. I was at my parents' house. This was after the event. I watched that live. And even my big black ass was like, doo-doo. It's up. Oh, it's time. And then Trey walks behind me, and even Miriam walks behind me and go, "Oh, Bray Wyatt back?" That look. Let me say this again, especially to you AEW people.
Yeah, man, I can't wait to tell y'all.
It's not about me or Camp. It's about my wife and other people who are casual watchers or know stuff because we know it. When they stop and pay attention, and be like, "Oh, that's Bray." When that happens, that's when you know you've hit on everything that you needed to hit on. And those two stopped and was like, "Oh man, Bray Wyatt back." They put the lights on. You know, they had the lights on and everything on the phones, and then all of the people like start, you know, the whole world in his hands start playing, and everybody, Trey, come on, you just gonna throw the plate in my face, fam? Like got the whole world in his hands playing, and then from there, you still got the lights flickering back and forth. You see all of the characters from the Firefly Funhouse pop up across parts of the crowd. And then they show the Firefly Funhouse itself and its cobwebs and shit. Everything's all messed up. You see a door where on Twitter it was affectionately called the Forbidden Door. And it light up. It looked like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
It is.
It looked like Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3. When Kincaid told Freddie, "I kick your ass," when he did all that shit, then Freddie was like, "Hey, I got a door right here, fam. Bring your ass down. Let's go." And then he comes in. They have a new mask, so to speak. He takes off the mask. He got the lantern on, and then he looks at the crowd, and then he blows the lantern off, and then the pay-per-view goes off. That was the main event. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody has to point it to me.
Yeah.
Somebody had to point it to me. But there's never been a debut without somebody getting their ass whooped. That's the key here. There's never been a debut, basically a live vignette to main event a pay-per-view. Ladies and gentlemen, we saw it last night at Extreme Rules. That's why the re-debut of Bray Wyatt to me is the best ever. When John Cena came back, we didn't know John Cena was coming back.
Yeah.
But at the Royal Rumble that year, and he won it. But when the music came on and he did that shit, we was like, "Oh shit, we thought we wasn't gonna see your ass for another 6 months."
Right.
Hey, we knew Bray Wyatt was gonna be here because he kept giving us dates.
Yeah.
Dates and rabbits.
Yeah.
And for that to ring off like that last night.
No, I know you raised a great point, because when you said what you said, the only other time I remember is that day Triple H showed up on Raw fully healed from the quad surgery, but we had no idea that was going to happen. Like, there was no promo, there was no nothing. He came out in full jean jacket with leather leather sleeves and water. And then, like, I was like, "Oh, yo, he walking. Oh, shit." I was like, it's up. But, yeah, like, that was just, once the music hit, it was like, "Oh, shit, Triple H back." But never have we literally had this vignette and just subtle promo throughout 4 or 5 shows.
Yeah.
And then he still got the pop in Philly like that. And Philly is always like, "Yeah, we knew this shit."
Right.
We knew this shit. I'm like, yo, come on, let's get the show off, please.
Man, the crowd ate it all up. But I'm gonna bring in what Seth Architect just said right here.
Yeah.
Said it would have been better if the Firefly House characters are wrestlers, and they should get some prospects for NXT for these characters like they did with Nexus. I disagree partly.
Okay.
There's not anybody in NXT with the style and what that character is that makes me go put them with the Fly Funhouse.
Mm.
I'm also not big on a whole bunch of factions.
Okay.
I think 1, 2, keep it at that. But when you bring the characters out there, you lead to the expectation of there's going to be more people in the clique, especially when you basically had the clique the whole time. When you came in, you had Luke and you had Eric. When you was in NXT, you had Luke, you had Eric, you had Eli. When you had Randy Orton in the spot for a little bit. You've always had people around you, except for when you were the Fiend. But this don't look like the Fiend. It looks like we getting old school Bray Wyatt back. So when you bring out the Buzzard, you expect the Buzzard to be a woman. You expect the Buzzard to be a woman that you used to mess with before, Alexa Bliss, or somebody who was going crazy in the back earlier that night. Maybe it's Liv Morgan. What are we doing with Braun Strowman? Really doing with Braun Strowman? Could he be the pig? Like, who can be the bunny rabbit? Is Eric Rowan gonna come back? He's gonna be like, you put all of that out there and you bring them out, you kind of expect other people to be in the family.
So you've now made me audible my guarantee, because I had my guarantee without the official return of Bray Wyatt. This is my guarantee theory, okay? This is not really my guarantee. Because, you know, everything that you've been saying, Bang, I watched Raw, and I was like, oh, shit. Sanity Nikki is reemerging. And I was like, what happened to Killian Dane? And then I was like, does Sanity work if they move them back to SmackDown and give them the same redo that they gave Hit Row? However, now, what you got me thinking is that Bray Wyatt returns, and I would want to see Nikki Cross, Killian Dane, Braun Strowman be the new Wyatt family, and that kind of brings Alexa Bliss back into the fold as well. Combine the old with the new, bunch of factions that didn't happen or didn't make it, along with just people that are now in this losing realm, losing streak type of deal. They're now reemerging now that Bray is back. Why do I not have Liv Morgan in that? Because I don't think Liv Morgan is anywhere near the stratosphere that Alexa Bliss or Nikki Cross is when they got the same love, attention, and push that Liv Morgan is getting right now. That's the only reason why. It's like, hey, look, you can continue to get your ass beat by women that are bigger than you, and that's kind of like your life story. But Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross have proven to be better in her exact same spot. And I don't think the way Bray does things helps develop her. I think it buries her inadvertently, because he's going to be on 10,000 and the crowd already want to see that. I think Nikki and Alexa elevate themselves in that, where Liv not so much.
And you know what? Either way, it's cool with me. Like, you got to have the Sister Abigail. You got to have your Buzzard. You got to have your pig. Yeah. You got to have your rabbit.
Killian Dane is definitely the pig to me.
Right. And
I mean, the rabbit, you know what I'm saying? Nikki Cross, pale. English.
I mean, Right. I mean, it's when you bring them out like that, people expect it. But without a doubt, that's the best debut, re-debut, re-entry I've ever seen in my life in wrestling. Because I have off of crowd reaction alone. Because we knew, I think people bought tickets specifically for that.
Oh yeah.
I think if that didn't happen, the backlash, because people would be like, fam, you got a fucking date every goddamn show now. Man, they got a goddamn date. You said a couple of weeks ago, you said it's gonna be on the 21st.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was like 28. You making us tune in, look at these video game ass shits. Like, yo, you gotta give us something. Gee. That to me, again, was the best. And and what also makes it the best is because we have so many questions. Is Alexa Bliss going to return? Like, she got hurt, so to speak, on Monday.
Yeah.
So now she's going to be taken off TV for a little bit. And then sooner, well, as we grow into this new Bray Wyatt family type of situation, she's going to return back to Bray Wyatt. That would be the female aspect. Yeah. And then we do have the pig, the buzzard, and the rabbit.
The pterodactyl, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's a buzzard.
Oh. That shit was a fucking pterodactyl.
I mean, as he stand up, he looks pterodactylish. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But like people was talking, I saw people like Braun Strowman, like, nah, not Braun Strowman, excuse me, Baron Corbin. I think JBL got something special for Baron Corbin. I'm gonna stick with that right there. But there are people we haven't seen in a while. Like, could Elias be the buzzard?
Hey, that would help. I mean, something's got to help him out or something. My question, though, because it felt like in real time, I was the only one that was like, yo, Alexa Bliss is killing this shit. Are we going to accept Alexa Bliss adapting all the Bray Wyattness or feigness to this character the second time around? Because I remember many a weeks where they were like, yo, this is fucking bullshit. They're fucking killing Bray Wyatt's character and giving it to some dumb bitch. Like, I remember wrestling Twitter saying things like that. And I felt they were wrong.
I'm glad that you said that, Cap from the port. Glad that you said that. This is when the finicky wrestling fan shows their ass. Because you know what the difference is, Camp? Is who's in control. Triple H is in control.
Yeah.
And I think, just speculating, I don't think I'm off base here, is that Bray Wyatt has to have some creative control of his character for him to come back. So when Alexa Bliss was doing it under Vince, it's boo this shit because of Vince.
Yeah.
Because it was shocking enough to see Bray Wyatt leave the organization in the first place.
Yeah, true.
But now he's back. We expect Alexa Bliss to be with him. And it will look weird if it don't. Thank you, Papa H, for bringing the family back together.
All right. Yeah.
So I think, here's my thing. I've said this in many a show. I'm going to say it again here. Because I think with this particular character, it is way more important. Jake the Snake never sniffed the belt. We looked at Jake the Snake and we saw the DDT. We did all of this, all of that. But when we were growing up, did we ever say to ourselves, damn, man, why Jake the Snake Roberts ain't win the championship yet?
Right. Yeah. Right.
No.
Yeah. I never even thought about him fighting for the title, honestly, until they kind of just made the thing between Warrior and Savage. Like I was like, oh well, he been beating their ass and biting them, making them snakes bite them and stuff. So I guess it's supposed to happen.
We never was like, yo, Jake the Snake Roberts need to get a title until we got older. And we was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Like it should have been like based on how they do wrestling today, he should have been had like at least 2 runs.
Bingo. The Undertaker got the belt early, lost it, led to the greatest Royal Rumble in the history of Royal Rumbles. But when were we after that was like, yo, the Undertaker need to get this belt?
Yeah. No, never. I mean, I think the American Badass one because he was Brock Lesnar title. Only because of the Brock Lesnar title because he left. That's the only reason why I'm counting that run.
But at that point, he was no longer an attraction.
Yeah, no, true. Yeah, no. Yes. Oh, see where you're going.
And that's where I'm going. We have to understand, and WWE has to understand that Bray Wyatt is an attraction. We ain't gotta put the belt on him because the belt is him being over. Yeah. That's what that is. That's the championship for him. Is that he is over. We don't need a championship run from this Bray Wyatt because when you put the belt on him in this case, he got to eventually lose.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Roddy Piper. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who don't know, Roddy Piper got pinned once in your lifetime in the WWE.
Yeah.
It was against Bret Hart.
Right.
At WrestleMania, what? 8.
It was 8.
WrestleMania 8 for the Intercontinental Championship.
And he did that to help Bret Hart. He was like, hey, look, Hogan didn't do it. Savage, Warrior, Andre, DiBiase, anybody you name, nobody pinned Roddy Piper in the entire 80s, 70s or 80s, actually.
Roddy Piper, when he lost, it was by disqualification, a count out.
Yep. Or somebody else got pinned.
He ain't get pinned. Bray Wyatt, this is your life. Bray Wyatt should never enter a match where he loses by pinfall unless 15 niggas in the back beat his ass and he decides to die and come back a couple of months later like The Undertaker did.
Yeah. Speaking to your point, though, even before the Fiend character, I always felt that a lot of Bray Wyatt matches should be no contest. They should just be a bunch of shit that happened. And then the shit is just over. And the ref is so confused that he's just like, hey, ding, ding, ding. Like, hey, I don't know what happened, but this shit over. I don't get this. But I'm okay with that because all of his promos, as well as a lot of his matches, they fit in line with that. Like, nothing is ever definitive. So why make his matches definitive?
The other part about that camp is the fans. And this is a request from First Black Champ to you. Bray Wyatt ain't gonna give you a 5-star match on match quality.
Yeah, no.
You're not getting Kenny Omega versus Okada in Japan. You're not getting these type of matches with him. These are attraction matches. The Undertaker ain't to me, and to most people, ladies and gentlemen. The Undertaker has 5-star matches. It wasn't because of the match itself. Yeah. Until he wrestled Batista at WrestleMania. Yeah. He's not supposed to, because he's attraction. He's going to tell a story within the match. Motherfucker, like the story.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Don't come up in here waiting for some goddamn Kurt Angle versus Chris Jericho,
Right.
Kurt Angle versus Shawn Michaels, Okada versus Kenny Omega, AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura in Japan.
Right. I was gonna say
Stop looking for that when it comes to his matches.
Right.
He's giving you attraction, tell the story, be at the edge of your seat, be afraid matches. Because that when he says, "You who killed the father? You did," that's exactly what he's talking about.
Yeah.
He's talking about you ugly motherfuckers. He's talking about you virgins out there. You yellow belly meatheads from Las Cruces, New Mexico. He's talking about you sweat hogs. He's talking about y'all. Why? Because y'all was so in love with the Fiend character, y'all thought that y'all was supposed to get a 5-star match because y'all live in this world where Dave Meltzer and his 5-star scale is everything, and y'all didn't realize that the Undertaker wasn't giving you 5-star quality matches. He was giving you 5-star quality storytelling, and the Fiend was giving y'all already 5-star quality storytelling. That's what he's going to give you. Just like Hulk Hogan and Andre the Giant. Look, I'm snapping on this one today before we move on. Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant is a 5-star match. It's not a 5-star match because of the moves that he gave you. It was the storytelling that was up in play here. Because Hulk Hogan supposedly went up against a man who never got slammed, but clearly your daddy was looking at your ass like, fam, you dumb as hell. Kamala slammed this man. Hulk Hogan already slammed this man. Jesse the Body Ventura slammed this man. Ken Patera slammed this man. I know a whole bunch of wrestlers who slammed Andre the Giant, but Vince McMahon had our ass thinking that this dude never got slammed in his life. And that he never lost a match in his whole years of wrestling. So not only was he undefeated, but ain't nobody even put him on a goddamn mat. So you know what drove us? The story of, damn, wait a minute. Is he gonna slam Andre the Giant?
Right. So he gonna slam him and beat him in the same day?
In the same day, he's 5 pounds. How is that supposed to happen?
Right.
How was that supposed to happen? And what happened? They sold that goddamn shit from the beginning to the goddamn end of the match. We were sitting there like, oh man, he finally did it. And what else came with that, ladies and gentlemen, is this. Early in the match, he tried to slam him. Andre the Giant fell on him. And when he fell on him, it was a count that a lot of people thought it was a 3 count, but it wasn't. So the end of the match was, no, he beat him early in the doggone match. So it led to other matches, which led to a whole year of shit, which led into the big event where he actually beat Hulk Hogan, but he had another referee looking like another referee hitting the shit, and he sold the belt to the $1 Million Man. That story ain't none of the matches we told y'all about within that year was some cold ass matches. It was some cold ass stories. The cold ass match at WrestleMania 3, the cold wrestling match was the wrestling match for years was thought of as the best wrestling match in WrestleMania history, possibly in WWE history, probably in wrestling history. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Macho Man. And you know what they did they did before WrestleMania? They practiced the whole goddamn match from hold to goddamn hold. That's the wrestling match. The other match is the story. But that wrestling match had a story because for y'all young motherfuckers who listen to this goddamn pod, we thought Macho Man killed Ricky the Dragon Steamboat because he destroyed his larynx with the ring.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Stories, fam.
Yeah, no, absolutely. No, you're you're absolutely right. I have nothing else that would give it more oomph and just clarity than that, because you are right. You are right. I mean, we've super kicked Hurricane around the table, false pin people so much that like now people think that your match is not 5-star worthy or it's not high quality if that didn't happen, but literally the other half of sports entertainment is the entertainment part, and that is the grandiose long form storytelling. So that's the lane that Bray Wyatt should be in. We don't have any storytellers. We got a lot of white people in leather jackets that want to be the champion. That's what we have right now. And we do need to get back to a very clever, very robust storytelling. And hopefully, well, you know what? Triple H know the game.
Yeah,
Triple H know the game.
Because Triple H gonna hit your ass to when we thought Vader was gonna kill Sting.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
we didn't like Vader because it was giving us 5-star quality matches. He gave us 5-star quality storytelling because we was legit scared of this man. There's not a lot of wrestlers that I was legit scared of, even as a grown-ass man, was like, I don't know about Buddy Ass. Vader's one of them. Yeah, that's why I said early in the show, you can't do a strap match and not have somebody scared of somebody. I was scared of the two American dudes who made their name in Japan, came over there and whooped America's favorite wrestlers, not named Hulk Hogan, Lex Luger, and Sting in strap matches.
Yeah.
Think about it. Yeah. The two men, again, let me say that again so y'all understand it. Vader and Stan Hansen are American wrestlers. They went to Japan and they made their names in Japan. They came to WCW and wrestled Sting and Lex Luger, the two best friends. The two best friends. They wrestled them in strap matches for the United States Championship and the World Championship. And we was afraid for Sting and Lex Luger because who they was wrestling.
Yeah.
Stop playing with your life right now.
Yeah.
We watched Ric Flair, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat for the quality. That's the 5-6-star joints. Yeah. We watch these cats because they're gonna whoop somebody's ass. Mm-hmm. Bray Wyatt, let him wrestle people he gonna beat the shit out of, and then give him a foil, which is just as dramatic as him. Because look, Kemp, when you watch WrestleMania 9 at your cousin's crib with the cable box that was rigged.
Oh, yeah.
And y'all had all of the cable, you had all of the channels. There you go. And watching WrestleMania 9. When you saw Giant Gonzalez versus The Undertaker, did you expect to see a 5-star quality match?
Oh, absolutely not.
No, you expected to see somebody 8 foot tall who wasn't 8 foot tall, but 8 foot tall going against The Undertaker. And you know what? Undertaker might die tonight.
Yeah. And you know what? Hey, and to your point with that, I was like, oh shit, that's Elegante. And I was like, yo, Elegante's in the WWF. Oh, and then, but at the same time, I'm doing that. I'm still not thinking like, oh shoot, I can't wait to see the suplexes he gonna do. It's like, nah, this is about to get crazy. Because I was like, yo, he way bigger than the Undertaker. That's the first thing I said. And you know, even though it's one of the worst outfits in wrestling history,
the worst.
Like, what was he supposed to be, like an Aborigine or something like?
I don't know what. But a giant monkey,
right? Yeah, that was like literally just like he was literally evolving. He only had fur like on his nuts and on his shoulder or something.
Harvey Wimpleman is gonna have to tell us the reasoning behind putting him in that big ass suit.
Facts.
With the
but yeah, no, it's, and you know, that was one of the moments of WrestleMania 9, like the stories. And it just made sense for that to take place. Like, I think about that moment, and then we fast forward to Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, or The Fiend and Braun Strowman, wrestling in a swamp for the Universal Championship. And it's like, come on, fam. Do that even make sense to you? Like, if y'all wouldn't do it for Skinner, why would you do it for Braun Strowman and and The Fiend? But that's because when you're in the swamp and you're fighting for your life, the last thing you want is the WWE Universal title. Like, that's not going to help you. You need a knife.
Right.
You need to find a shotgun. You need to find the way to bury somebody alive. And it don't tie in.
And Trey, I'm going to 150% disagree with you on this. I don't think Vince McMahon lost his luster in storytelling. Because when we go back, some of these stories we're going to be like, oh, these was actually decent. We are just in a different era. We're in an era where nobody cares about the story. They just want to see a 5-star match.
Yeah.
Let's to go to AEW. There's not, in my opinion.
Okay.
In my opinion, I might be wrong.
Okay.
But somebody tell me the story of Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley. What was that story?
Oh. The EVP said, "Oh man, he ain't lost either." Bet we can set that up.
Right.
That's the story.
Somebody tell me the storyline of Daniel Bryan and Hangman Page.
Oh. Hey, we just signed Daniel Bryan. He's a talent. He's a main event guy. we should have him. We should have him put over our champion. That's
like,
the story.
What was the storyline of Daniel Bryan and Triple H and the Authority?
Oh shit! Hey, you're not good enough to be here. We get that people like you, but hey, this shit you doing in the ring, it ain't all that, bro. Like, hey, you can't wrestle and headline WrestleMania doing that kind of shit. Like, don't you got like a leg drop? Can you tear off your shirt? Do you want to run real fast to the ring? Don't you have a catchphrase or something, bro? Like this, like, don't get me wrong, you're good at like this wrestling thing, but like you need the other shit if you want to main event WrestleMania. That was the storyline.
The storyline of The Fiend was simply put, he makes you see a different side of you.
Mm-hmm.
That made you heel in the first place. That's why everybody he wrestled eventually end up turning what? Heel.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't interested in that though at the time.
Mm-hmm.
We was interested in 5-star matches.
Yeah.
That's all we was interested in.
No, I get what you're saying, because you know, and I'm even seeing Trey saying like he think that's like more Triple H and Daniel Bryan, but here's the thing. The thing is Vince recycles so much, and that we think that he's not creating. And the thing is, the make or break is how people sell it. I mean, shit, he redid Dusty, Ted, and Sapphire with Chris Jericho, Christian, and Trish Stratus. It just ended differently.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a lot of recycling. I mean, shit, you could say it's even some stealing too, to a degree, because the York Foundation is technically Mr. McMahon, which is technically the McMahon-Helmsley era, which is technically the Authority. Mm-hmm. Like, they keep doing the same shit. It's just that who do we have to sell it, and what are we calling the finishes for it? You know what I mean?
Right. Because the WWE is always the entertainment.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? And he's been all about sports entertainment since Ali showed up to be a referee. Mm-hmm. So it's I do think now, don't get me wrong, I do think to Trey's point, I think Triple H has more control over the stories that he's telling, because he's been a part of some of the best stories in wrestling. You know what I mean? So I think you get more leniency with that. But if it was up to Daniel Bryan would just go out there and just wrestle. He would just be like, yo, that's I'm just nice.
And that's my point. Even with giving creative control to some writers, you still oversee control.
Yeah.
So the people you giving the control to is the people you trust, because you know they gonna do what you need them to do.
Yeah.
And if they do come out of body, you still gonna be like, hey, look, I know you got creative control, but this is what we're gonna do tonight.
Yeah.
To your point, if it was up to Daniel Bryan, I'm just gonna wrestle a 5-star match tonight.
Yeah. Cause shit, I mean, hey, look, hey, let's go back to the B+ player storyline real quick. What was the best promo that he cut? The promo where he said, well, hey, if y'all fire me, I'll go to a gym and wrestle. I'm just gonna wrestle because that's all I do. I'm a wrestler. Like that was the best promo he cut. Stephanie McMahon killed that whole shit because she set this off. She was like, dude, hey, look, you're good. You're a B+ player. And that was the storyline. He wasn't even trying to prove that he could be A-. His promo was like, even if you fire me after I lose this match, I'm gonna go somewhere else and wrestle. Who gives a fuck, Daniel? Nobody gives a fuck. You got to prove that you can headline WrestleMania and win and entertain us.
You got to prove that you can make it here.
Yeah, exactly.
We know you can go do that. My whole point is you got to prove that you can make it here.
Yeah. And he didn't have a promo for that. Because like it really ain't in him, and that's why Vince was needed. And that's why Vince was needed, because the guys that just want to 4.5, 5 you to death and do cool submissions that count for 7 seconds of a match, they don't know what to do to get to that point.
Right, and let me let y'all know this is not something to boost up Vince McMahon. What I'm talking about is stories, wrestling. They're two different things, and stop trying. The best can mix the two, but one does not cancel the other out.
Mm-hmm.
Vince McMahon, ladies and gentlemen, when you look back, some of the greatest goddamn storylines have happened under his tutelage.
Yeah.
Even as he got older. But things do change. Mm-hmm. He had to change within the Attitude Era. He had to change in the Ruthless Aggression Era. He had to change. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that will never change, which y'all was trying to change, is stories in wrestling.
Yeah.
That's going to always be there. Now, can Triple H give you both? Yes, he has a track record at NXT for giving you both. But look at the type of wrestler that's giving you both. We were never supposed to confuse Bray Wyatt as somebody that's going to give you a 5-star match.
Yeah.
We will only say that he could give you a 5-star story if driven correctly. Mm-hmm. But a 5-star match was not going to happen. Johnny Wrestling and Johnny Wrestling and Tommaso Ciampa gave you 5-star quality matches.
Yes.
And there was a story behind it.
Yeah.
This was essentially the Rockers breaking up.
Yeah. A much better version of the Rockers breaking up too, by the way. I got to give that to Fievel and Tommaso.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You got to. But they also was two people that could go out there and give you a 5-star quality match within a story because they have a personal connection.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have a personal connection. Who on the goddamn roster that Bray Wyatt gonna have a personal connection with when his whole storyline is being supernatural?
Yeah. Right. You probably need to get Supernatural to come out and an MF Doom mask and start freestyling.
Right. The only time, just look, ladies and gentlemen, tell me if I'm wrong. Mm-hmm. But the Undertaker, this is why I say the Undertaker is a bit overrated by y'all standards, not mine.
All right.
But y'all standards.
Yeah.
Here's why. Old Undertaker, before American Badass, old Undertaker was built off fear and supernatural. Yeah. Am I wrong?
No, you're absolutely right.
His best storyline is quite possibly the greatest storyline in wrestling, connected with what to me used to be the greatest debut in wrestling history. Because Kane used to be.
Yeah. I got you. Okay, I got you.
Kane used to be. I think last night, a little bit got it right here. Because Kane did it with The Undertaker. Yeah. Bray did it with nobody.
Yeah.
And got what we got. The Kane shit was wholly set up on Undertaker. Your brother's alive. Undertaker,
alive, Undertaker.
Undertaker, like, what the fuck you mean he alive? I burned the house up. Well, he got out.
He's alive, Taker.
and he coming to fuck you up. Undertaker, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Week 4, I don't believe you. Week 3, I don't believe you. Week 2, oh, you might not be lying. Week 1, I don't think he lying. Event, bad blood. Music pops.
That's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane.
Boom. How that set up.
Mm.
And the match he was going having was with Shawn Michaels, which was a dope ass match.
I'm so glad you said. Listen to what Bang just said. You need to stop. We need to pause. We need to slow that down. We need to run that back. Kane debuted as part of an ongoing storyline while having a main event and a brand new specialty match with Shawn Michaels.
You see how all of that shit connect and go together? I'm not saying it's easy to have a strong debut. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if there was ever lightning in a bottle and one night when it came to that, is that right there? Because y'all did everything right. Long-term storytelling, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. What Bray Wyatt did last night was the first time in a while this is the first time in a while that the WWE got everything right on this debut 100%. So but here's the other part. This was the first time in a while that y'all got invested in something because y'all let what y'all didn't like for Vince McMahon let y'all get invested. Because it's not like this didn't happen with The Fiend.
Yeah, that's
true.
Or
any version of Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
It happened, ladies and gentlemen. It's just you did not allow yourself to get involved in it because y'all just wanted to see some matches.
Yeah.
With no storyline. Y'all just want to see two dudes wrestle.
Yeah. And it's like, and you know, in hindsight, it's understandable because you're watching wrestling. So you want to see guys wrestle, right? But however, story is what got us here. You know what I'm saying? Like, story is why we talked about The Undertaker for 30 years. Like, because of story.
That's why Zach's doing one-man shows right now.
Yeah.
Sold out.
You know what I'm saying? And you know what? I think about this while we're saying all of this. Listen, if you just want to wrestle or you're not really great at story, hey, when in doubt, be Scott Steiner. Because Scott Steiner definitely can wrestle, wanted to wrestle, but he would just go out there and sell himself to where we'd be like, you know what? Even Eric Bischoff was like, you know what? Let me just give you the mic and you just go do something. You're going to say something that's going to make somebody want to fight you, or people just want to see you out here fighting somebody. And I think honestly, and Braun Breaker needs to take a page of this book as well as some other wrestlers as well. Take a page of the Scott Steiner's book. Is like, yo, I'm going to make myself so interesting that some people just don't want to fight me.
That's it.
And that's it. Like, he was his own attraction. He was like the 2.5 hour attraction. Like, somewhere like this in the middle of the show, all of a sudden the music hits. He come out, hey, it's your big bad booty daddy. And I want to see all the young hoes out here in Vigor Heights, Ohio. Like, there's somebody out there watching do push-ups and skeet on women or something. He doesn't just do anything.
It's been about 15 plus years and we still talking about Steiner math.
Hey, bro. And to this day, I don't remember what happened at that match at all. But the math that he broke down, the 33 and the third chance, that was skewed in his favor at the end of the day.
Right.
It was just like, yo, hey, look, that's what you need to do.
So put it on the bow. Bray Wyatt, in order for Bray Wyatt to succeed,
right,
it has to be because of you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to understand that Bray Wyatt is an attraction.
Yeah.
That's what he is, fam. He's not here to give you your 5-star matches.
Mm-hmm.
He's here to tell a story. And that's what he does best in the ring. It's not about how crisp his suplex is. It's not about how dope his belly to belly is. It's about none of that. It's about telling a dope story in the ring. Now, for those wrestling aficionados and fans, if your whole thing is he's not good at that, I ain't gonna argue with you.
Yeah.
Because you get that part enough to say what you just said. But if you come up in here and you be like, oh man, this match suck. It's not like, this is supposed to be a five, a star match. This match is nothing like, Kenny Omega versus Daniel Bryan. You go kiss my ass, fam. You go sit your ass in the corner and go trade tapes, fam. Because here's the thing. And I'm gonna say this, and we're gonna move on to why I'm a little bit racist. The best matches in the history of wrestling are not best matches because they just had a match. It's the story behind the match. And then, in 9 times out of 10, those matches with the best storylines are the ones that are more loved than those matches. Here's why. There are more people talking about WrestleMania 3. There's more people talking about WrestleMania 3 than they are talking about Ric Flair versus Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Chi-Town Rumble 89. And that quite possibly, to a lot of people, is legit the greatest wrestling match of all time. But even in that match, there's a story. So stop playing with your life, man. Stop thinking just because somebody did 15 super kicks and there was 15 false pins that match was a great match, man. It's just y'all get geeked with false pins. But the best matches be the ones with about 1 or 2, because you don't need all these shits. Nigga, if I super kicked you 5 times, you're gonna get count 5 times because that's what you've been doing. Do something else. Stories beat matches. 100% of the time, every time.
Hell yeah. Especially match stories.
Yeah. Because Macho Man versus the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7. The storyline behind that was retirement to whoever loses and doing whatever you can to win that match so you don't have to retire. And that's the greatest match that the Ultimate Warrior has ever had in his life.
Yeah.
Simple as that. All right, moving on to why I might be a little bit racist, Cam.
Let's get to it. Because I've never put that on your jacket. So this is interesting. I'm here for this. Let's get right into it.
All right, man. New announcing teams have been announced for the WWE. It's a shakeup that's going on right now. Jimmy Smith has been let go from the WWE.
Yeah, man. I won't lie. Most unfortunate wrestling news of the year for me. I don't care how y'all feel about it. I don't care who left, who came back, or even who died, to be honest with you, over that story. Jimmy Smith, I thought, was doing a very great job in that space. And even with Daniel Cormier and everything that they were doing, I was like, oh, wow, they're letting them get in this bag real quick. But I was wrong. Apparently.
Yeah, and before and to add on to the Jimmy Smith thing, he kind of found out that he was getting fired before he actually got fired.
Jesus.
Says Jimmy Smith revealed on MMA on series that Triple H slipped up and let him know what the lit was. He screwed up and gave him the information. This is the exact words. He said Smith was sitting in a production meeting before WWE Raw where former UFC heavyweight championship Daniel Cormier will appear in association with the Fight Pit match between Matt Riddle and Seth Rollins. And Daniel Cormier was the special guest referee. Seth Rollins had to cut a promo that DC hates Riddle just as much as I do, Smith explained. So everybody in the production meeting turns to me and goes, what did he mean? Did they have some type of personal problem? Because I'm the MMA guy, right? He continued, well, Riddle's been critical of fighter pay in UFC, and Daniel Cormier is sort of kind of a company guy. So I go, this is what he could be talking about. Just to make certain, Smith approached Riddle for clarification, with Riddle stating that they have no beef. However, he suggested that Cormier may have out-wrestled the UFC fighter John Jones, a rival of Cormier's, twice. Smith relayed that information to Triple H, who told him, okay, cool. Give that note to Cole. The alarm went off, and Smith said that he wasn't calling that match, and he probably wasn't going to be around because he told him, give that information to Michael Cole.
Yeah, see. I looked before you even went in that. I didn't see that report. I was like, they about to let him get in his bag because I know he know like this. Like, I know he know this.
It's the shit.
So I'm thinking that whole cage fight match, whatever, was to be like, yo, Jimmy Smith, you've been doing such a great job, bro. Go ahead and kill this shit, bro. Like, we know you got this. Yeah. And I was wrong. He was there to be Michael Cole intern.
Basically.
Jesus.
So here are the announcing teams. So on SmackDown is going to be Michael Cole and Wade Barrett. Wade Barrett will be moving from NXT to SmackDown, while Pat McAfee is doing college football.
Yes, I'm like, hurry home, Pat.
There we go. So yeah,
and I mess with Bray Wyatt. I mean, I'm sorry, Wade Barrett. I mess with Bray Wyatt too. But
yeah. But you have that. On NXT is going to be Vic Joseph and Booker T. So expect a lot of shenanigans from Booker T, ladies and gentlemen.
This nigga tripping, dog. No.
He probably slip up saying nigga when Carmelo Hayes.
He's like, that young man right there. See, that's my nigga. I mean, that is a great athlete right there, brother.
And shouts out to my man A+. Shouts out to my man A+.
A+.
Because we had this conversation.
Oh, okay.
The new Raw team will consist of Kevin Patrick and Corey Graves. Ladies and gentlemen, fuck that Raw announcing team.
Yeah. And I mess with Corey Graves.
I mess with Corey Graves, but I'm sorry, I do not mess with Kevin Patrick. I do not need to hear your Dublin, Ireland. I don't need to hear that.
Yeah,
I don't need to hear that accent, fam. I don't need to hear that. Welcome to Monday Night Raw. I don't need to hear that, G. I'm sorry, fam. That's why I said this is gonna sound bad.
Yeah.
This is gonna
I got
sound
him now.
bad.
Trey, retract your statement about me. But wait, check this out. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
This is gonna sound bad. As y'all know, I love my wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love the commentary. I'm not saying that this man needs to be American.
Okay.
His accent is too strong for me, G. I'm sorry. And here's why. There's a reason for that. It's a reason for that. And this is something that, even though this sounds bad, I think a lot of people are going to agree.
Okay.
Kevin Patrick sounds happy all the fucking time, G. He sounds too happy. When he does the backstage reports, they be snapping on him and he just be sitting there looking happy as hell. Welcome to Monday Night Raw, and I have AJ Styles. AJ Styles, you're going to be going up against Finn Balor. He whooped your ass last week. What can you expect this week? Kevin, shut your ass up. Hi. Like, he seems too happy. And maybe it's his accent, but he seems too happy to be my announcer. My announcer has to have strife, have to have some character within him. He can't sound happy when he's calling a wrestling match. You could do that on main event because ain't nobody watching. But it's over 1.5 million people watching Raw. If somebody get their ass whooped, I don't want to hear it seem like you smiling. And that's how he sounds. That shit, no. Like, how was he gonna get a wrestler over when he getting his ass kicked? How?
Right.
How?
Hey, listen. I want to say this before I let you pick it back up.
Fam? How?
I wanted to be clear that you said his accent would be too hard to understand. You said you want to hear your Dublin voice, and you're too happy. It was like, yo, Bang hates positive immigrants.
No, hey. I don't hate positive immigrants. I don't hate them I hate them in wrestling. Fam, even Sheamus, look, Sheamus, I've said I've not been the biggest fan of Sheamus, but I know when Sheamus mad.
Mm-hmm.
And again, who's going to get the wrestler over? The announcer. Fam, Jim Ross be telling people, man, go straight to hell. Fam, if Kevin Patrick tells somebody go straight to hell, he gonna do that shit with a smile. You go straight to hell. Hi.
Let me offer perspective. Just offer perspective. So y'all know that we've been watching wrestling since the 80s in a real way.
Yeah.
And what I'm about to tell y'all, I don't consider this right now at present construction. I am not saying this is a legit carbon copy. I'm trying to tell you about what they may be trying to build here. Okay? I think this move is all about Corey Graves. First, foremost. Second,
go ahead.
The second thing I want to bring up is one of the highly entertaining but most unsung commentating teams of the 80s. Bobby the Brain Heenan.
And who else?
Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yep.
So, because look, Gorilla and Vince, Gorilla Monsoon, and Jesse the Body Ventura got it done. Gorilla and Heenan, magic. And then there was just this thing of like, Lord Alfred Hayes and Sean Mooney were kind of just there. And even though Lord Alfred Hayes would say things like Hacksaw Jim Dugan and Triple H and Intercontinental just sounded just interesting when he said it. It was really the best time for Bobby the Brain Heenan to get his shit off.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think the sell for the Heenan family got better with those moments in those matches. The fact that it was finally somebody that Bobby the Brain Heenan could punk out and nothing would happen to him.
But no, see, this is where I got to stop you and I got to disagree with you.
Okay.
Because Lord Alfred Hayes was once a heel announcer in the WWE.
True.
He was once a heel. And you can hear angst in Lord Alfred Hayes from time to time. Like, especially when he was a heel, like here's my point.
That wouldn't happen in '88, though.
No. Because my ass up there and watch all them old episodes of Tuesday Night Titans. So hear me out.
Okay.
Hear me out. Lord Alfred Hayes had a sound that made him sound like he was better than you.
Okay.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat has come up in. I don't know why the fans likes this, but it's American fans. Y'all like anything. To your point, this move is about Corey Graves.
Yeah.
But the best announcing teams, Jim Ross, Jerry Lawler, Jim Lawson, sometimes Jim Ross and Paul Heyman, Gorilla Monsoon, and Bobby Heenan, Vince McMahon and Jesse the Body Ventura, I'm not saying be heel and face announcers.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that when Corey Graves says something, when he shits on AJ Styles for not joining Judgment Day, I don't need to hear you sound like you happy. And unless you happy about him not joining. No, Kevin Patrick is just going to sound happy. Corey Graves is going to be like, see, getting his ass whooped. That's why he should join Judgment Day. And he's going to be like, well, we're going to talk about that on the next break. We'll welcome back to Monday Night Raw. Like, no, don't sound happy. Sound irritated. Sound like, man, we got to go, but get your ass up out of here. No, Kevin Patrick, I don't know what Vic Joseph is. I don't know what Vic Joseph is. I don't know if I think he's white. But if he's not white, if he's European, I like Vic Joseph. He's from Cleveland, so it's kind of fucked up and wrong. But
hey, listen, we're over 5 years into the First Black Champ podcast, and I just want to make it clear that y'all have never heard me talk like this about anybody from Europe. But yet the narrative until this day was that I'm the racist one.
No, like, it's not about Europe. It's about Kevin Patrick. When he gets us, look, you see him backstage. You don't even take him seriously backstage. You just be like, hi.
And maybe that's the angle for this.
Nah,
man. What if Corey Graves kicking off is like, what do you keep smiling at? Why are you happy? Nobody respects you here. And then he starts calling the match.
And he's just gonna smile like, man, you right. So drop toe hold. Like, no, I need my announcers to and this is what I said to Plus. Maybe he need a hide and right situation.
Oh, so you want him to get raped because you don't like him?
I'm just saying. All I'm saying is that hide and right was scared, had Michael Cole scared until Michael Cole had to do what he had to do to protect himself.
Yeah,
maybe
tight,
maybe he needs that. But again, fam, he's too happy as an announcer, fam. I ain't gonna look when Bobby Lashley lose the Intercontinental Championship tomorrow, fam. When he loses on Monday Night Raw, fam, by getting cheated, Kevin Patrick gonna sound happy as shit. If he wins, he's gonna sound happy as shit. He's gonna sound the same. Corey Graves is gonna be sitting up. If Bobby Lashley pulls it out tomorrow, Corey Graves is gonna be like, "This is a travesty. This is a travesty. The WWE management needs to come in and then yada 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 yada." And Kevin Patrick's just gonna be like, "Congratulations to Bobby Lashley for winning the Raw Heavyweight Championship."
I was like, you do understand what he said.
He's the World Championship. Like, if it's a dramatic match, I ain't gonna hear nothing dramatic out of Kevin Patrick's mouth that make me go, "Oh man, this shit's thrilling." It's gonna be like, what? He kicked out of that pin. No. He's gonna seem happy about everything. I need some angst in my announcers. Imagine Kevin Patrick telling somebody to go to hell. Imagine Kevin Patrick telling Stone Cold to go to hell or Triple H to go to hell. Imagine that. Oh, Stone Cold, you can go to hell. Why you'll be sitting there like, "Oh, this bitch ass nigga on the announcing team." That's what you gonna say. I'm not wrong in this assessment. It might sound bad, but I'm not wrong in this assessment.
So, ladies and gentlemen, like Triple I was telling you.
Oh, Triple H, you can go to hell. Triple H, you can go to hell. No. Nigel McGuinness, English announcer, no longer with the WWE. English announcer. When he was on NXT, you knew when he ain't like somebody or he ain't like a situation. As the announcer, Kevin Patrick is going to have to say once in a while some shit that happened that he ain't necessarily cool with. it ain't gonna sound right coming from him. Oh.
This is before episode 1, too, ladies and gentlemen. Like, hey.
Damage Control jumped on Bianca Belair. Oh. It's like,
hey, I just remember those narratives, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to know whose segment this is right now. I want you to know whose segment this is.
Bangs. It's Bangs. I own mine, okay? I can't believe. Like, you know, when they say it when we was in radio class, and they say smile when you talk. If you smile when you talk, people, he smiles.
The energy for the
Yes, that's him. Bray Wyatt debuted.
There's got to be an interesting play here because they let him replace 2 people essentially. Because where's Byron Saxton?
He's a backstage announcer, so let me fill it out. So the announcer teams will also be on the way it's going to be added. Kayla Braxton and Megan Morant will still be the backstage interviewers on SmackDown. Kathy Kelly's back.
All right.
Kathy Kelly's back, and her and Byron Saxton will be doing the backstage interviews. And Vic Joseph again and Booker T is going to be your announcers. And Mackenzie Mitchell will be the backstage interviewer. And congratulations to Mackenzie Mitchell and Vic Joseph. They got married. So shouts out Cleveland. Shouts out to Cleveland.
It's 1999.
But see, here's why I flip it a little bit. Kent from the port. I am cool with Morrow until Morrow be going a little bit too hard with his hip hop references, because it gets on you because oh my goodness, Toxic Attraction and Nicki Lyons are going back and forth like Cardi B and JT on Twitter last night. You're like, oh, see. All right, man, you doing a little bit.
So he just letting you know he hood savvy. You know what I mean?
He just letting you know he was on Twitter last night. Like, but again, Kevin Patrick, the same one like that. He like, oh my goodness, they're going back and forth like Cardi B and JT on Twitter last night. Oh,
I'd be surprised if he knew who either of them were.
Right. You
might get some fire Ed Sheeran references.
Like, oh my goodness, Bobby Lashley switched the style up like Craig David. Remember Craig David? Remember Craig David was supposed to be Drake Corey Graves?
Oh. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he might hit you with the fire Craig David reference. Craig David, Ed Sheeran. I'll give him Megan Trainor, even though she American. It's got to be Mad Adele puns.
Like,
Adele puns.
Oh, Bloodline. Oh, here comes the Bloodline and Sami Zayn. No, I don't want to hear that. Kevin Pat, look, I'm sorry, fam.
Harry Styles, yeah.
They canceled Bobby Lashley like Harry Styles at the United Center in Chicago last night. No, I'm sorry, friend. Look, Lord Halford Hayes is the GOAT European announcer, and if you wanted to, and if you want to get somebody else. But I'm sorry, Kevin Patrick is soft as cotton in Mississippi. But here's a little bit more of my disappointment. Camp from the port. Give you some of his roots, man. No, his roots are in Dublin, Ireland. This is Sportskeeda. He started his career with Ireland's national broadcaster company known as RTE. He covered the 2004 Olympics and other soccer events. In 2009, so know where we were at in our lives. In 2009, he moved to the United States and he worked with the Big Ten Network, the Chicago Fire.
Mm-hmm.
I need the Chicago to come out of Kevin Patrick if he gonna do something.
Let's go Fire.
I need the he spent time in Chicago. I need the Irish Chicago to come out of Kevin Patrick. I don't know if it should fully come out because if you go to some parts, they don't like us. but I need the Chicago. The time he spent in Chicago, I need that to come out of Kevin Patrick. I need some of the cops that he befriended that are Irish in Chicago. I need some of that to come out, except when he's talking about Bobby Lashley. Because if it don't, we're gonna have the softest announcer in WWE history. Adnan, who was at ESPN, he sounds a bit. I trust his voice more than I trust Kevin Patrick's.
Man, man, this has been great. This has been great, and I just want to highlight that.
No, man,
you said that Kevin
drop
Patrick
nuts,
is from Dublin,
Island.
You don't like his voice or his accent.
Nah,
you feel it would be hard to understand. You think he's too happy.
He's too happy, fam. He's not.
And you want him to be raped, so it could balance out his announcing. That's what we heard in the segment. That's all I want. To be communicated as the bullet points. If y'all were paying attention. Meanwhile, over the last 5 years, I have been falsely accused as being racist against Euro professional wrestlers.
Why you don't like them?
And I've never delivered this kind of diatribe.
Why you don't like them? You just talked about earlier about the what they wear.
Oh, like ruffles and the like Betsy Ross capes and shit.
You might as well just announce it.
But they was soft. They was weak though. They was weak. They also got their ass whooped.
Kevin Patrick is the same.
But I didn't say I hate their voice and they hard to understand. I want them raped. So
I didn't say. Okay. I will move on from Heidenreich. I won't say Heidenreich.
Trigger warnings, right?
But and it's okay. I'll move on from that. But he needs a Bob Backlund in his life. He needs to get put in the chicken wing.
He needs an old white man to choke him out. I got you.
I
got you.
A crazy one at that. And then after a while, he gets tired of getting his ass beat.
They got to go to some red state arenas. So.
And after a while, he gets tired of him getting his ass beat, and then he starts talking with authority. Kevin Patrick does not talk with authority. He talks like he's happy to be in America, fam. No,
no, you gotta be authentic.
No, that's why he ain't on no main events, fam. That's why he ain't on no main events. Because how this dude gonna get over? Look, his countryman is in the match in the Brawling Brutes versus Imperium. How he gonna get over that match? He happy. He's too happy to be. He's too happy to just be in the building.
This all made me think of something. So
Pretty Deadly. Yeah, Did you watch NXT?
No, not. I haven't seen it in like 2 weeks.
Don't watch it. Don't watch the latest episode because your racism is gonna come out.
No, mine isn't. It doesn't exist. I just be telling y'all the truth.
Nah, because you said ruffles, fam. You said ruffles. You gonna be like, I'm gonna turn this shit off.
But it really do be the ruffles, like something like because what's the name dude was wearing the shit from the George Washington porns on fucking Cinemax. No, that really happened. Yo, we can't. This ain't a what you want, chicken and watermelon, nigger. No, it's not that. I'm saying like, no, you really came out with the ruffles from the Cinemax porn I watched where the lady was scrubbing the floor and then the dude came in with his buckle boots and his ruffles on his chest and just started doing anal. Like, yo, I was like, yo, that's the help. You dropped the bucket, fam. You can't do that. Now she has to clean up everything again.
Oh man,
so that's not what I've done.
We talked about porn a lot this episode too. This is the last because we've talked about we've talked about porn a lot this episode. But no, Kevin Patrick, man, Kevin Patrick is not fam. He ain't. Nah, man.
Well, I tell you what. This is what I was getting to before we got sidebarred there on a different type of porno. I guess now we're about to find out how good or bad the roster is because Michael Cole has successfully sold everybody Now the wrestlers got to sell themselves
That's
because look, if your trajectory for Kevin Patrick is this low, then man, the matches can't be mid. Man, the promos can't be mid.
No,
like y'all better go out there and work because this can go super left. And Raw has already been bad because of commentary and wrestling in the last 3 years. It's already been bad because of that. So,
how in the hell did the Green Bay Packers lose to the New York Giants?
oh wow.
My whole parlay got fucked up again. Ain't this motherfucking bitch?
Sorry that happened.
Goddamn. And they all in England. And see, all of them to the queen, or to the king. But nah, man. Nah, fam. Like that, to your point, you're 100% correct. All right. And that's and in all seriousness, that's my I don't see him getting over wrestlers. To me, the number one job of an announcer is to get over the people that's in the ring.
Facts.
Corey Graves does a great job of that. Vic Joseph is not the best at that. Like for NXT and how NXT goes, I miss Morrow for that reason. Michael Cole getting everybody over. Now, here's what I will say. Time will tell. But I just don't. Somebody sent out a tweet one day, what celebrity you just don't like when you see him? Maybe it's Kevin Patrick. Because he just gives me vibes of, man, I'll muff the shit out of you vibes. And you're not going to do shit about it. Like that's the thing when it comes to him. But to this point, and it's something that I told Plus, to me, there's a lack of announcers, play-by-play announcers in wrestling. That's why you see this. Because I had said stupidly, like backstage announcers shouldn't be color commentary, but then I was like, damn, that's everybody. My bad. I was stupid. I was just more upset that Buddy Ash, you know what I'm saying, this is the announcer. But don't think about the great announcers and how they get over people. That's my main complaint. I just think dude is too happy to get over anybody when it comes to the matches that are needed for the Raw roster, because it ain't a lot of y'all on there. But it's the perfect storm of wrestlers, announcer that could get you over. Jim Ross had that. Look, Jim Ross had that issue when he first got to the WWE. It's like, man, I don't need to be hearing about dude was a 3-time All-American at Oklahoma. Fuck out of here, man. Call a goddamn match. You know what I'm saying? But then
what a maneuver.
Right. Like what a maneuver, a drop toe hold, a snap mare. But I don't get those vibes from Kevin Patrick, because anytime you saw his ass on the screen, the camera went to him and he was like this. Hi, every time he go on the screen, it just be like, hi, I'm Kevin Patrick. Fam, I need some angst in my announcer. Like, if it go down, we about to talk this shit. Like, even in Fear, go back and look at Bray Wyatt's intro last night. And when they had the mask of the Fiend on the announcer table and how him and Corey Graves reacted. He smiled so much, I can't even expect Buddy Ass to be scared as hell when some shit like that happened, because he smiled so much. It's like he'd probably see it and be like, oh, that's the Fiend's mask. Like, come on, man, be angry, scared, fam. It's the Fiend's mask. How did it get here?
This is awesome.
So I'll take that. Look, I'll take that. All right, man, before we get out of here, man. I was definitely my racist back.
There you go, Trey. Look, talk right. You know
I love my Europeans. I told y'all leave Gunther's name alone, because if y'all think Gunther is more racist than Walter. Go look up Nazi Germany and those Walter people named Walter. I told y'all that Lord Steven Regal was my favorite version of William Regal, and he came down to the ring with ruffles before brass knuckles, fam. And I said that William Regal should have been a world champion.
That's true, but you also said I love my Europeans, and it has the same energy as where's my African American? Oh, there he is, right there.
Where's my European?
There's my African American. Look at him.
Where's my European? I just don't like Kevin Patrick. I like Squire David Taylor, fam. I like Squire David. He does not.
Yeah, no.
I like Squire David Taylor.
Yeah.
Right.
Every week getting that disgusting look smacked off his face.
See?
That's because what he needed. Man, what looking like that? What you slap the shit?
All right, man, before we get out of here, we got to talk about the bloodline, but it was something specific that happened on the SmackDown that caught my eye, and it may lead to a can't be known moment. Because during Logan's Paul's promo on SmackDown, he mentioned that, main event J no more. And he fell off, which led to Roman looking at his cousin as his hot-headed cousin is yelling back and forth at Logan Paul. And he looked at him and scared the shit out of him. It looked like he started looking down like, oh shit, my bad, cuz. My bad, cuz. My bad, cuz. My bad, cuz. I'm sorry, cuz. My bad, cuz. My bad, cuz. But then Sami Zayn basically put Sami Zayn in charge of Jey Uso. You said on here that it would be a feud between Jey Uso and Sami Zayn before there is a feud between the Usos and anybody tagging with Sami Zayn. So my question to you is this. Are we going to see the return of main event Jay in 2023?
I think overall, yes, but it's going to be a very slow process because part of building main event Jay means them losing the tag team titles. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jey Uso literally has to get in the way of the success to get back into form. It's like, dude, like you can't be mad because Sami Zayn is here. You can't be mad because Solo don't want your help. You cost your brother the tag team titles, and I thought he was the one fucking up. No, it's you. So you better get it together. You got the family looking bad out here. What you about to do about it? And I think in that, right, he got to have the beefing back and forth with Sami Zayn.
Right.
Like it's got to happen. And then it's got to lead to more just spiraling out of control until he got to redeem himself. So to me, I think that involves him getting to the Money in the Bank match, but not exactly winning it. But it's like, it's kind of one of those things where like, just like the very first year main event, Jay, where he put himself in such a position that you just couldn't do certain matches without him. I think he gets back to that.
Next question is, it seems like the crowd is also definitely all in on Sami Zayn and the bloodline.
Yeah.
How soon? I mean, we all expect this to. Let me rephrase the question because Owen Hart wasn't necessarily kicked out of the nation.
Right.
Contel Pro pretty much did that. And Contel Pro wasn't the white Canadian in this case. It was the black man or the black Samoan man.
Right.
Just y'all, we've told y'all that The Rock is Contel Pro. Just go look that up. With that being said, do we have to pull the trigger on Sami Zayn getting kicked out of the bloodline? Like, this seems too good of a fit to just break up.
Well, I agree with you. And no, I don't think he should be kicked out at all, right? I think the story should be like it is in any black or person of color family, because there is the one friend that comes over to the cookout that your one cousin just don't fucking like. It's like, yo, man, y'all keep inviting this bitch ass nigga. Fucking hate dude, Joe. Like there's always that person that comes to the cookout, comes to the family function, and like you secretly want dude to like say something so you can fight dude. That's who Jey Uso is when Sami Zayn come around. Like, and every family got one. Like, and you might be the hated cousin, or you might be the cousin that hate the family friend. One of the two has happened. And the only thing that they can do as a form of long-form storytelling to make it make sense for Sami Zayn to be kicked out is that Jey Uso got to be right. But he got to be so right that they all got to turn on him and get rid of him like completely. But he's already outmatched one-on-one really against any of them already. So the whole entire bloodline beating him up, that looked like gang violence on civilians. So I look at it like this, right? The dynamic of everybody in the bloodline was like, hey, man, like it's real simple. Oh, he been a family friend. He been around for years, man. He ain't gonna do nothing. We know we could take care of dude. But Jey Uso was like, then why he over here? Like, then why he over here? He shouldn't even be here. If we know he's soft, we know he ain't gonna do nothing. He know he ain't no threat. Why do we got this goofy dude around here dick riding all day? That's just the stance he taking. There's nothing wrong with that stance. We all have it every day, even white families. They're like, man, I fucking hate Tom. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yo, I don't want Tom. I hate Tom. But I think it makes for just great long-term storytelling. And I think that is the person that's needed to get main event Jey back to main event Jey.
All right. So my last question is AEW. AEW, John Moxley just signed a 5-year deal. So he's gonna be sticking around. But the bigger news is the fight number 2 that is happening backstage at AEW, because the Spanish guy Sammy Guevara and Andrade El Odiro, they got into a fight. It's conflicting reports. One of which that says that they both promised that no fights would happen, but at the taping, Andrade was waiting for Sammy Guevara and threw a couple of punches. One said that it was a pushing match. Basically, everything led to Andrade, the one who threw the punches and connected to. So it just seems like that Sammy Guevara is not well liked in his locker room at all. I don't know if it's because, you know, his woman, because some guys would be jealous if you got you a nice little woman on your side, especially how you got said woman as well. Others probably just think dude is a pussy. I don't know. But I want to know your thoughts on the latest fight in AEW and why HR really need to have an office at these AEW tapings.
Yeah, man. So I've always been high on Sammy. You know what I'm saying? But the first 4 to 5 episodes, so 2 months of AEW Dynamite, I was like, yo, that's the guy to me. It was like, I don't know why they got Chris Jericho surrounded with all these Latinos, but he hard though. I mess with homie. So fast forward. I don't think it's Sammy Guevara's, girl or wife, I'm sorry, or anything like that. I think really it's just that Sammy Guevara has made a point of saying like, hey, yo, I'm going to talk shit, but I ain't really about nothing. Like, I saw the tweets, and granted, violence is never the answer, things like that. We should be able to talk and resolve our issues. But yeah, there is a certain way that you can't talk to me on Twitter and I'm going to see you at work and I'm not going to put my fingerprints on you. Like something has to happen to you. And I'm going to say that Andrade handled this perfectly because the exchange was, yo, you be talking all this shit. You can fuck off. You're a bitch. Blah, 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 blah. You ain't going to do nothing. He's like, okay. So now I got to prove to you that I will do something when I actually got a problem with you. Because I said I don't have a problem with you. Matter of fact, you said you got a problem with me because I hit you too hard at work. So now you want me to hit you for real. Okay, bet. Like, I'll show up and do that. What you want to do? Huh? You want to do something? What? You want to do something? But now you're going to cry and tell the owner. It's like, nah, you don't get to do that. You don't get to talk shit like you would do something the next time you see me. You don't get to talk in the manner where it makes it look like I wasn't prepared to deal with smoke with you, or I'm talking behind your back and I would never do something to you.
Yeah.
It's like, because no, I was like, no, let me show you what it really could be if you wanted to be that. So, he get boo-bopped. But this apparently either is not the only time. Well, it's not the only time because the Eddie Kingston thing.
Yeah.
But the habit, the pattern seems to be, oh, you just want to talk on Twitter. Like, and if Sammy Guevara is a Twitter thug, then he's getting everything he deserves. Whether I like him in the ring or as a character or not, like he's getting what he deserves. Now, this is funny because the trick bag that Tony Khan has put himself in is that, hey, look, the last situation, everybody got let go. Like everybody got suspended. Everybody has something to think about. Everybody worried about their job. He let Sammy come to work. To me, that makes you an even bigger target. So, like, oh, I can whoop dude ass and you not going to suspend me and I'm not definitely going to get fired. Like, hey, if I want a real break, I might just punch the shit out the Sammy Guevara. Like,
and the rumors about him wanting to get fired, basically, like using this to basically want to get fired. What's your thoughts on that?
I do believe that. I ain't gonna front. I do believe that. I think, because I mean, look at Andrade's NXT run, just alone. And now he realized Triple H is now running the show. Like, oh yeah, no, I need that redo. Like, I need to show y'all what I was really supposed to do now. So, and hey, look, and usually assaulting a wrestler backstage was the main thing that got you fired. But also though, we can never discount the things of like, hey, Chris Jericho versus Brock Lesnar. We can't negate what's it, Booker T versus what was it? Which one? Sheamus.
Batista.
No, Batista. I'm sorry. Yes, Booker T versus Batista. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been real scrapes backstage, and of course, we already know Matt Hardy versus Adam Copeland. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this on the flip side, there's also this being par for the course. It's like, hey man, you be talking shit, bro. He just put Prince on you real quick. You know what I'm saying? Fresh Prince, no Bel Air. You know what I mean? And and you gotta eat that. And you either gotta shut up talking, or you gotta start fighting back, bro. That's your options. And I think for a young guy in wrestling, I think that's the perfect story to be told because the Bucks, Omega, and CM Punk, they're older, so right. They've lived in a certain different culture, but Sammy, he hasn't. Like, he's early 20s, and he think it's cool to just pop shit like ain't nothing gonna happen to him. So I think him taking a nice little boo bop and then having to come to work anyway, I think that's a great lesson to be learned. And all honestly, I'm not even trying to be funny. I think it's a good lesson to learn when you got to get your ass whooped and then show back up to work the next day. Or the same day.
Look, I've seen it happen in person. Somebody get their ass whooped at work and then show up the next day.
Right.
Like, so I've seen that in person. I've seen that and been like, God damn, these motherfuckers decide to with like, the black eye.
No, you still too close.
With the black eye. Like, that's the other thing. With the black eye. Like, damn.
Like, yeah. And I think that's fair. I think that's super fair. Hey, shouldn't have been talking shit.
Like, you decide to do that? Mm-hmm. That's cool. I just think, man, they gotta go ahead and stop playing to bring somebody in HR down there. This just can't be. I mean, these things happen, but part of the HR thing is to let everybody know. Let's just have a conversation. Let everybody know, like, look, fam.
Yeah.
Stop letting these ass whoopings and these things get out. That's my biggest issue when it comes to AEW. Yeah, like, man. Damn, does everything got to get out?
Yeah. I mean, at this point, they need to call Mona Scott. And they need to just follow the show after it goes off because that's clearly the ratings draw. You know what I'm saying? That's the real problem with AEW now. I mean, obviously, structure, HR, we need, sales department, we need creative. They do need different departments, but the other part of it is we are all way more invested at what's going to happen at the shit that we can't see or we're not supposed to see or know. Versus what's going on in the actual ring product. We're fresh off of Paige debuting as Saraya, calling out the entire women's division as a roster, but doing it semi-unsuccessfully. But yet, Sammy Guevara got his ass whooped for what he said on Twitter, and that is the more compelling storyline here.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's unfortunately, Tony Khan has to hire someone or do something to flip it. It's like, yo, the shit going on the show gotta be more entertaining than what y'all doing in y'all regular lives, or when we cut the cameras. Like, y'all costing me money because now we are all in agreement that we know that no matter what happens at scrums or backstage or on Twitter, they literally don't bring it to the show, yet everybody's responsible for their own creative.
And I guess that's part of the what's weird to me thing here. Mm-hmm. I think that's part of the what's weird to me thing here, where when you see these things and you're sitting up here like, again, y'all let this get out?
Yeah.
Why? Why y'all letting stuff like this get out?
Facts.
Like, this don't make no sense.
Yeah,
like, man. It's almost in a sense like wrestlers are anticipating things that happen, making sure said things happen, and can't wait till it get out. Yeah. They can't wait till it get out. Because since they can't wait till it get out, you know what I'm saying, you're egging it on. Like, if you knew that Andrade was ready to whoop dude ass, and you was a locker room leader,
yeah,
you would have made sure that those two wasn't in the same vicinity for it to happen.
Yeah.
You would have tried.
Yeah. Or you would have locked them in your dressing room, let them fight, and then nobody just would have known why.
I mean,
that's the kind of locker room leader I would be. Hey, no.
I mean, to your and to your point, hey man, y'all gotta fight.
Mm-hmm.
Fight.
And what's the craziest part about all of this is that this would have been the best way to use Andrade since he got there.
Man, look.
So you're missing the golden opportunity here. Like, damn.
Missed a couple
you did all that, and you still didn't make it on TV.
Missing a couple of golden opportunities, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry. But it's going to get to a point, man, that everybody going to be irritated with y'all ass. Yeah. Like, I can't even fight in peace.
Right.
I can't even fight without the whole world knowing that we got into a damn fight. Like, come on, fam. I'm like, damn, can I just still off a nigga in peace, fam? Like,
man, you know what I'm saying?
Can I still off with somebody without you going to tell Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp and all these people? Like, damn. Because then if we do fight, and it's 3 people up in there, and you're gonna see a tweet said, hey, a planned locker room took place backstage at AEW. Go to my Patreon for the full story. Now you like, hey, which one of y'all told?
Right. Yeah, man.
Which one of y'all told? There's too many snitches in AEW, in my opinion.
Facts. Oh, super facts.
And that's definitely part of the whole shit that's going on behind the scenes in that company. So, but it is what it is. All right, man. So what's that guarantee you got?
My guarantee is that Sandy Nikki will return, but I believe that she will be aligned with Bray Wyatt. I think as other characters start reemerging from the reason why they got to the main roster in the first place, I think that this will be a situation to help benefit her, because obviously the superhero joint, because she came out a little bit confused that 1 week, I think it was 2 weeks ago. If they're going to build a Wyatt family or rebuild the Firefly Funhouse, I think she is one of the people that can benefit in a real way from it. My original pick was going to be like, I think Sandy is coming back, but I think that all that momentum is gone. But can Nikki stand alone as just being the crazy girl by herself? I don't believe so. Only because they tried the crazy woman that is a single wrestler a few times, and it just doesn't hit unless you're Luna Vachon. So that is my prediction. The reemergence of Sanity Nikki returns, but it is alongside Bray Wyatt.
Okay, man. My guarantee is that tomorrow Seth Rollins will become the new Raw Heavyweight Champion, aka the United States Heavyweight Championship will be won by Seth Rollins. He will become that Raw champion, and with him becoming that Raw champion, unfortunately, Kevin is going to, call that match. And
let your hatred spew one more time. We got time. It's our show,
Yeah, man. I already said enough, fam. I've already said enough where I could get in so much trouble for this podcast, So much racism going on in the world, and you're sitting up here, yeah. So, but yeah, man, Seth Rollins is gonna win that United States Championship tomorrow. So, y'all get ready, man. The age of Seth.
Yeah, man.
Is going to be here, which is interesting that Seth said that he doesn't feel like he could be the man in this world with Roman Reigns being the leader. So that's even interesting in itself. But with that being said, man, close us out.
All right. Hey, listen, man. Thank you guys for tuning in to us. Went a little over 2 hours this week, but we didn't give you an episode last week. So, man, look at us trying to over-deliver in the best way possible. As always, the likes, comments, shares, tags, stories, questions, scenarios, even showing up during the live, man, super greatly appreciated, man. We express so much gratitude in doing this. Obviously, Bang and I could do this show without you, but your participation at any level is greatly appreciated, and it keeps us doing what we do the way we do it, and we love doing it for y'all, man. So, as always, if you ever want to talk about wrestling in an unconventional way, you do so by checking out the First Black Champ podcast. Champ, Bang, we are out.
And
now, Dublin.
Yeah, and Trey, that wasn't Francisco. That was Joe Winfield that beat up his sales manager at Best Buy. Me and Francisco just helped break it up.
Hey.